The world abounds in change through man's ability.
Hey, welcome to Falcast, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Ken.
I'm Doug.
We're talking movies.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about movies.
I watched The Legend of Bogey Creek too. That's a weird one. That's a weird fucking movie.
Like, not in a good way.
No. I'm sure MST3K has done it. They should if they haven't. It's like
What's it called?
The Legend of Bogey Creek.
Bogey?
Sure. Otherwise it would be Boogie Creek, wouldn't it? That's where I want to go.
Are you sure it's not Boggy Creek?
Maybe. Yeah, it's like a weird, like 60 millimeter mockumentary about like a Bigfoot thing. I don't know.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah. Well, it's got the the only thing I remember from it is the song that the director like wrote and put in the movie, because there's a his name's like Arthur Crabtree or something, one character, and the song's like, "Hey Arthur Crabtree." And it plays throughout the whole movie.
And that's how Falcast ended and Crabcast began.
Crabcast, yeah. We're gonna go. That would be great. A podcast where we just it's like fucking Bill Brasky, where we just like every podcast is another tall tale about Arthur Crabtree.
I don't think they did
They really
the
should've.
first movie on MST3K.
Okay.
But they
Yeah,
did
I
do
heard there was a
Boggy Creek
sequel.
2 and The Legend Continues ...
Yeah.
which is the full title of that movie.
I did hear there was a sequel.
If you have ellipses in your fucking movie title,
Yeah.
you lose. You just failed at filmmaking. I don't care how good the movie is. But let's be honest, it's not.
They did it on the last drive-in, and they had the singer from Ghoul Town was the guest,
Oh.
because I guess he's a big Bogey Creek fan.
Boy, I just feel bad for him.
Yeah, that's a weird one to stake your claim on.
It's literally like, what celebrity can we get that loves Bogey Creek? And they found like an old cast MP3.com page
Yeah,
where Goldtown's like, Bogey Creek inspired us.
Yeah. Yeah,
Y'all,
I mean,
because they're Southern.
you're going to have slim pickings for people who
Yeah.
like a movie like that. Well,
hey Arthur Crabtree.
Like, we can get the guy from Goldtown or Bill Cosby.
ooh, let's go with the guy from Ghoultown. I don't think he's raped anybody.
Yeah.
All of his dirty Sanchez's have been consensual.
Mm-hmm. He just does them at shows. And just randomly shoves his fingers up his ass. Who wants a dirty Sanchez?
Oh, all the hours we spent driving around having it screamed into someone's ear.
Oh my god. Oh man. That's the only thing Tony took from that whole record, I think. He always leaves this mark on his lover's face.
He's gonna say it. He's gonna say
He's
it.
gonna say it.
Dirty Sanchez.
He said it, that son of a gun.
He did it again.
Get that man on Joe Bob. Brano.
I'm like, I don't know how Tony forgot records work, but I know we recorded one together, and pretty sure it was the same thing that we played every time. That's kind of how a record works, but okay, you know what? He's surprised.
Speaking of terrible movies and the shows that mock them, I have Boots news.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure I've mentioned OSI 74 on the podcast before.
That number station?
No.
Okay.
It's I want to know how that
Yeah,
goes.
Men in Black are going to be visiting you guys tonight.
Yeah, we better cut that.
I don't
shit.
know shit about OSI 79 or 74.
So it's essentially like it's a channel on Roku.
Mm-hmm.
You can install it as an app and go in, and all their content's listed there.
Oh,
and
is
watch
it like a like a cable access on Roku kind of thing? Didn't you tell me
It's not
about
really
that?
cable
No?
access. I mean, it has that kind of vibe sometimes, but it's basically like a TV network.
Yeah.
But it's not like live broadcasting. It's all on-demand material.
Yeah.
You can also watch the stuff on their website. It's just a lot more convenient on Roku. I wish that they would come out with a way to do it on like a Chromecast or something, because I don't use my Roku anymore. But they have different shows on there, and like the Church of the Subgenius has their own section on the thing, and Sleazy P. Martini from Guar has a show that's on there. And then there's Cinema Insomnia, which I'm pretty sure is like the main draw there. And that's hosted by a guy named Mr. Lobo.
Mm-hmm.
And he also, I believe, runs OSI 74. And he's also, as it turns out, relatively local. He is hosting the screening for the VidJam of Horror.
Oh, he's the
this
guy
year.
in Lancaster.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sam told me about him.
So Sam showed him. Remember when we did the Space Angel footage with our like improv characters over top of it? Sam showed him one of those, and he fucking loved it.
Really?
Yeah, and he's like, I like Boots. He would be perfect for a show that we have called. Now I'm gonna. Now I'm gonna completely blank on the name. It's something fantastic. I'm pretty sure, but it's Russian themed. It's Russian films, done MST3K style, and also he does jokes in the subtitles.
Okay.
Like he re-subtitles the entire movie,
Which
and
you're
just
pretty
throws
good
jokes in there.
at, too.
Well, true. Thank you. So since he said that there's a Russian theme there, and also the entirety of Space Angel is available on OSI 74 because it's public domain, and it's like some weird shit that they like, you know, the kind of people who like that stuff would watch. He's like, okay, so we're combining a lot of different elements here. I think it's great. Would you guys be down to record like segments for that show? Basically the same stuff that we were doing. He's like, do it exactly like you were. And I'm like, that's great, because we were just sitting around a table getting high and talking into a microphone. And then Sam had the task of turning that into a cohesive plot and putting it to animation. But he said that he had a lot of fun making it too, so...
Awesome.
I mean, yeah, no, it sounds like
That's
it's going to be a
great.
really cool project.
I had a feeling where this was going because I saw that shiny fan in the corner and I was like, ooh, Doug's got some OSI 74 money.
I do not think that we would be getting paid for it. At least not, like, at first. I don't know what their structure is like, or if they even have a whole lot of contributions. Who knows? If they have a Patreon, I should actually probably contribute to it. I'm a real big fan. But yeah, apparently like word is spreading. I saw an OSI 74 sticker in a Cinemassacre video not all that long ago. So
Cool.
Yeah, he has it on the side of like the monitor in the video store basement. But yeah,
Good.
I'm excited about that. I'd be lying if I said I didn't hope for like a spin-off series.
Yeah.
If Boots could have a spin-off series on OSI 74, I could die happy.
Oh, he should. Yeah. He should.
Be a variety show.
A talk show would be fucking exhausting for you, but hilarious.
Oh, it would not be exhausting for me. I could do that shit all day. You know, when I start doing Boots, I can't stop doing it.
Right.
So, all you gotta do is follow me around the microphone.
You could be like a Nardwuar guy, but just not annoying.
Aww.
Stop, he's listening.
He probably is. He knows everything about everybody. He
Exactly.
consumes all media. He's listening to our show. He's listening now.
Yeah.
He's at Google listening through our Home Assistant speaker. But yeah, so
That's
I'm
cool.
up for that. And
That's good.
I'm going to the screening on Halloween, so I'm assuming I'll get to meet Mr.
Yeah.
Lobo and talk to him about it.
Good, man.
But
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
The character deserves it.
He's been a long time in development, so I feel like we've refined him pretty well.
Gentlemen, I'm in love.
Oh yeah,
an old English woman.
Okay.
Now, in the Elder Scrolls,
Wait, is this a woman who enjoys Old English malt liquor? Is that Old English woman?
She's an old English woman.
classy.
Yeah, I'd say.
No, I've stumbled upon just amazing in Elder Scrolls. Mm-hmm. There's this lady that sometimes joins like the group to do dungeons and shit, and I get so excited when I see her name pop up because she always comes in like either fucked up, high, drunk, maybe senile.
Yeah.
I always just thought like she was wasted because, for instance, the other day we went into this one trial. It's like a 12-person dungeon. And at the very beginning of the thing, you just ride your mount up around like a curve, and then you get to the zone where you're getting ready to go off and fight everything. She kept falling off the cliff. And she kept apologizing to the guy running it. She was like, CP, I'm so sorry. I just ate.
I just ate.
But in this like thick English accent.
Oh my god.
And he's like, it's okay. Just get back up. Come on. And she's like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm falling.
I just ate. My blood sugar's too high. I can't play a video game right now.
I just ate malt liquor.
And he's like, no, you're fine. We'll wait for you. Just come on, catch up with us. All you gotta do is take it slow around the curve. And she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go lie down because I was hungry and now I'm kind of tired. She just disappeared.
Oh, she's living a life.
And then the other day, she like joined another one, and she apparently had no clue what was going on. She's like, I thought we were going to fight world bosses. And, well, it's a trial. You're going to fight a bunch of world bosses. But she was so fucking lost the whole time, and with the wrong person, that can be super fucking annoying.
Yeah, right.
But with someone who sounds just blitzed out of their mind, you just kind of sit back and enjoy the show.
Especially if they're like generally friendly and amiable the whole time too.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I'm really sorry I keep fucking up. You're like, it's okay.
So, and I take it she's like your level or whatever, right? Like, she's,
Yeah, I mean,
she
she's
had to
out
have
there, like,
know what she's doing
She's put
to get
some time into the game. But, yeah, and she's just, like, repeatedly apologizing, but in the middle of it, she's like, what in the hell did you get me into? I thought I was just going to kill bosses.
Oh, that's great.
Listening to her, like, stumble through, it's just the perk of my days. And like I said, I always assumed that she was like just fucked up or something, but then she kept referring to everyone as kids. And the one guy said, well, how old are you? And she said, oh, I turned 60 last year. I was like, is she so high that she thinks she's 60, or is she actually 60?
60.
Does she sound 60?
I can't get a real good read on it.
Oh my god, I can just imagine her popping in. All right, lads, and you're like, yes. This is gonna take forever, but it's worth it.
No, see, that was way too much energy with her, for her.
Oh,
She's just got this like, I mean, she sounds fucking stoned.
oh, that's so good.
Like
So she
half
like in your
asleep.
guild or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've still been thinking about starting to play Eve again.
Yeah.
It pops into my head every so often. And then I saw somebody posted on Reddit, like just responding to something completely unrelated to Eve, saying, oh yeah, it was about David Bowie. And he's like, yeah, there's a tribute to David Bowie as kind of an Easter egg in this space game that I play. He posted a screenshot, and I'm like, that's fucking Eve. God damn it. I can't do it, though. I can't.
No, I even if I wanted to put the time in, I get, like, I always hit a wall in MMO where I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah. Lately, I mean, lately as in like the last several years, but I'll eventually hit a point where I'm like, I feel like I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really making meaningful progress, and at that point it's just like, well, why am I bothering? Why am I paying $15 a month to do this?
So I'm in a like love it, hate it
Yeah.
stage with it right now because I've actually started like participating in like the harder end game vet stuff. But to do that, you really gotta get your shit down to like put out the most damage, and to do that you gotta like nail a rotation or a certain number of skills you need to activate in this time in this order, and then
And that could be fun too, though. Once, like, if once you're past like the whatever brought you into the game, once you start getting into the min-max stuff, that can be fun in and of itself.
and it is fun to like see that you're learning and making progress with like your damage and shit, but at the same time, you know, you look at the clock and you think, shit, I spent 2 hours fighting this fucking parsing dummy trying to nail this rotation that I'm still getting wrong. It just gets frustrating because like the character I was on, I mean, my main character's a healer and they can do fine, but you only got 2 spots for a healer in a trial, so I'd start trying to take up DPS, but I fucked up and I chose to go with a stamina DPS class, and that would bore everyone explaining it, but people prefer Magicka DPS in trials because they just help the group out a little better. So I got good on this one character that's just not very relevant to a lot of the endgame stuff. So now I have to learn how to do this other character, and it's just a fucking struggle.
You would think though that typically they at some point they release something that makes some of the lesser stuff more relevant too. So at some point it possibly could be, but
I mean, I can
forget it at that point.
Like I can wear gear sets that help buff the group and stuff, but my own like personal output isn't where it could be if I was playing a different role.
Okay.
That'd be cool if clothing actually worked like that.
Right? Like, I'm gonna wear this sweet shirt to the show so all my friends don't get thirsty as fast.
Yeah. There's some old English woman always falling off the stage.
These wingtips keep evil Ken away. Or
She
good
is
Ken,
amazing.
actually.
Those wingtips did give you a protective aura. Because nobody fucked with you.
No. Well,
I mean, there were about 7 people there, so.
somebody
The
did
wingtips fucked with him.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody did accidentally fuck with me because there was a little bit of a pit at the one show, and I got a hand across the face, and it just like kind of like smeared across my face, and it just wiped my contact lens right out of my eyeball. I'm like, man, I don't even like taking my own contacts out. It sucks when someone else does it for you in a fucking circle pit.
I played. I'm just fucking way late to anybody that stays current on games, but I finally played through Doom Eternal. Dude, they hit magic with those games, specifically Eternal. That the what do you like? The flow of combat is so fucking good.
I know that's what they were going for with the previous game.
Yes, and they were
And they,
missing
like,
a couple
perfected
pieces.
it.
Yes, because you have like once you do enough damage to an enemy, they start flashing blue, and then you can do a glory kill, which is like you fuck them up with your hands, and then health shoots out, so that's how you refill your health. But in Eternal, you have other weapons. If you hit them with you have like a fucking Predator shoulder cannon thing that shoots fire,
Okay.
and if they're on fire, they drop armor. If you chainsaw them, ammo shoots out of them. And
Makes
if
sense.
if you do a glory kill, health.
Okay.
So it's this constant like, what do I need? Okay, now I've got to do X.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Okay.
It is so good. It's so much fun.
And then it's a twitchy game because it's very fast paced. I've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
And so you're not only reacting to things going on around you quickly, you're also switching between your different weapons way more often than you would in an actual,
constantly,
like in a normal
constantly,
game.
because like some monsters have, some demons have, like the Revenant has 2 shoulder cannons. Well, if you have one coming in, you're like, fuck, he's gonna rocket me to hell. But I've got to deal with this thing over here. You can just blow off his cannons, and then deal with whatever you got to deal with
While he's running over.
Yeah,
to
but
you.
but like not every weapon can do that easily. So like shit, I gotta switch to my sticky grenades and blow. Now I can go deal with this. And here he's in my face. Oh, it's so good.
Cool.
It is so good. They nailed it with that.
One of the opening cinematics made me realize that I need to play this game, and it's the part where you're looking at Earth, and there's just a gigantic pentagram burned into an entire continent. Like,
yeah, it is. It is real fucking
that's
metal.
the most metal
It is
shit
so
I've
metal.
ever seen in my life.
Yeah, like you've got home base, which is a fucking castle from hell floating through space. So
I went and saw Judas Priest and Anthrax live in concert in Philadelphia. It was nowhere near as metal as that cutscene from Doom Eternal.
yeah, like they went so like I can't think of another game that just goes as overboard with its like setting, but like hell is a magical place in that game.
All right, well, we have an episode title.
Yeah. Like you have to.
I might have a new SMS right now.
There's like you've got to, like the story is like there's like these angelic creatures that for them to deal with hell, for all the torment that they put souls through. They send the energy up to these, so you got to get up and fuck these angels up. So
Yeah, wow, fuck those angels.
Yeah. So you go into like this place of torment, and it's just like walls of cages with arms and people just packed like sardines in them, like, and they're like up against these cells.
I have seen those.
And it's huge, and I was just like, this is, and like they have like
It's
a
pretty baller.
Yeah, they have like a choir music, but it's like death metal vocals.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, I don't know if I can beat this level because I'm going to fucking headbang.
Oh god.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that comes with the highest recommendation.
I might just skip Doom 2019.
Yeah, you probably could.
And just play
you really
Eternal.
could. It gives you all you need to know.
Yeah.
Like the story, it's not like there's much of a story. The first one is
There's never been that much of a story in Doom.
I mean, there is like the story's kind of cool because they tied all the Doom games in a way. Like this is like in the far future of those, and like Doom guy eventually became a something. I don't know. A demon killer.
Do you remember them referring to him as
Yeah,
like
and he
Demon
like
Slayer
you
or
like
something?
awaken, and you're like, oh, I'm awake. Time to rip and tear.
Yeah, it's from some fucking Master Chief shit.
Yeah.
Darren.
Yep.
Ripping and tearing.
Just ripping and tearing,
Ripping
guys.
and tearing.
Hey, how you doing, Doom guy? You know, ripping and tearing. Rip and tear, big guy.
Oh man, that ripping and tearing guy. There's if you go down 22 going like towards the mall and all that, there's like from Palmyra, there's maybe it's not there anymore. I haven't looked for it, but there's a U-Haul trailer that somebody owns, and they have ripping and tearing spray painted
Really?
on the side.
Oh. Do you think they're just a Doom fan, or is that like a business name?
I think
Joe's ripping and tearing. You need some ripping or tearing done. You call Joe.
it had to have been a phrase that we were just not privy to at some point. Because like, where did the Speedo guy get it from? You know, he doesn't look like the guy that would come up with ripping and tearing.
That was Doom Guy.
I feel like Doom used rip and tear as sort of a thing back in like.
I'm sure that, yeah, I
82.
think they did because, like, the Eternal makes a point to, like, you know, like a little flashbacky kind of thing where he's like, rip and tear, rip and tear. So it is part of the marketing at some point.
Yeah. It's a good part of the marketing. That's excellent fucking marketing. I want to see more products marketed with
I
rip
know.
and tear.
Yeah, right.
Skittles, berries, and cream. I'm a little lad who loves to rip and tear.
That is all I hear about.
I was happy about it at first because for a long time, like, I loved that commercial.
I forgot all about it.
Oh man, I loved that commercial when it was on TV, and I would bring it up years later to people, and they just look at me blankly. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'd like pull it up on YouTube, and it'd be this grainy ass 240p, like 5 frame a second, like 3rd generation VHS copy of the commercial. And they'd be like, I don't get what's so funny about that. And I'm like, well, that's because you're not Gen Z, apparently, because they latched the fuck on to that commercial.
What are we?
Millennial.
Yeah. Yeah, we're like elder millennials, right?
I've heard us described as Xennials.
Yeah.
Are we?
Like the cusp between Gen X and Millennial.
Yeah, it's like 80 to 85, I believe.
Okay. Okay. I knew I was classified as millennial somehow.
I'm almost as old as the oldest millennial by most accounts.
Okay.
And so, like, I'm, like, squarely in that little micro-generation in between. But I'm, like, I don't identify with Gen X shit, like, hardly at all.
Neither. Yeah. No, I get, like...
Like, I like Beavis and Butthead well enough, but, like, I don't know, man. Most of my friends are younger than I am, and I think that's for a reason.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, like, a lot of that, like the grungy, that just seems so fucking boring.
No, I do really like 90s grunge music. As opposed to grunge music from any other decade.
Yeah,
because that
that's pretty much
exists.
it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call myself a Nirvana fan until a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I still wouldn't call myself a big Nirvana fan.
You
but
just, like, learn to appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
A couple of those albums are fucking tight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like Nevermind and Bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the Unplugged album. That's fucking fantastic.
Oh, it's tight. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. So, okay, so we have iPods. Like classic iPods. And I found out that you can run lossless audio on them without modifying them at all, as long as you use the Apple lossless codec.
Whatever.
ALAC.
ALAC.
Yeah. And they won't play anything over, like, 16-bit 44K hertz,
Okay.
which is, like, that's fine. I
Yeah.
can't hear the difference between
Yeah.
between the 16 and 24-bit audio. Cannot hear it. And also the 24-bit audio is goddamn enormous file sizes. It's like 50, 60 megs a song. I'm used to albums being smaller than that.
Yeah.
But so I'm putting these files on Casey's iPod, and we upgraded the iPods to run off of SD cards, which means they can also, like, store a whole lot more music. So Casey has a 256 gig iPod mini, and we're putting all this music on it, and we ended up filling it up. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to trim some stuff out. So we start going down the list, and I'm like, well, ABBA, and she's like, you leave my fucking ABBA alone. Like, all right, Alanis Morissette. She's like, well, what do we have for Alanis Morissette? And I'm like, well, we have Jagged Little Pill. We have the Jagged Little Pill acoustic album, and then we have her MTV Unplugged, which is essentially an acoustic set of Jagged Little Pill. And she's like,
Live.
delete the acoustic Jagged Little Pill, and I'll keep Jagged Little Pill and the live and the Unplugged. Like, all right, this is gonna take a while.
That's the problem with, like, there is something to be said about a small, like, I love having all my music available, but
If you curate it
a
a little bit more.
a smaller selection that's more curated is so much more convenient most of the time.
When you open the Black Sabbath folder and it's just like the first 4 albums and maybe Heaven and Hell,
Yeah. Well, and like
it just feels better.
I was like, oh yeah, well, because I always got the lowest model iPhone or whatever storage size. So this time I was like, well, I'm gonna get a larger storage size because my truck can now.
You get an Android phone and just put a fucking SD card.
I could, but I don't.
Saying.
I had terrible experience with Android at the beginning.
Did you get a flagship phone?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like early on in Android?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah, I
yeah.
can see why that would have happened.
And
yeah.
now
That'll turn you off.
and now I fucking pretty much hate cell phones anyway. So like, I'm just gonna get the thing I know that works the same way that
That's
I know.
fair.
Because
That's
I've
100%
realized I was
fair.
like, oh, I don't even like these things.
I mean, I started buying flagship phones that are 2 years old.
Yeah.
I buy new old stock.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them. They're like some of the most popular phones. It's like $400.
Yeah. But so yeah, I got this one. I was like, okay, now I can actually fit all my music on here, and it's like, okay, now it's a pain in the ass to play anything while I'm trying to drive. Like, I want to. Oh wait, I got to scroll through 6 layers of, like, if my truck had a better interface, it'd probably be easier. But
Yeah. I mean, I've been plugging my iPod in the car just through the aux jack. And it's not easy to navigate that scroll wheel
No.
while you're trying to drive.
that
So-
might be an option that I might want to try, because I have an old 16 gig iPod. Maybe if I just.
What kind is it?
Were they the Nano that were the different colors?
They had different colors on a lot of stuff.
They were like little skinny little fuckers.
So yeah, at this point,
Yeah,
Okay, so this is a mini. It must be a nano.
I think it's Nano. Yeah.
at this point, I just pick an album and I say like that's what I'm listening to when I'm in the car.
Yeah.
I,
I don't have much of a rotation, so like if I come across the new album, that's pretty much what I'm going to listen to. And for the most part, like I don't really. If I'm not coming here, I'm barely driving, so
Yeah.
it's not like I have much time. So I'm like, okay, I'll listen to a podcast or something.
Yeah.
new albums are hard. Music in general is hard right now. Like, I know we've talked about it years and years ago, but I just can't listen to music the same way I used to. Like, I can, and I can appreciate it, but I can't retain it.
Yeah.
I don't remember albums. I don't remember songs. I'm just like, yeah, I fucking like that band, and that record's cool. No, I couldn't even tell you how many songs on it are on it. I couldn't name more than like 3 of them.
Right, yeah. Like it if a song's got a really good hook or something that captures my imagination, I'll retain that, but the rest of the album,
I could tell you one song by The Weeknd. That's Blinding Lights.
I know that
That's
one.
the catchiest shit in the
That
world.
is, yeah.
But that's the only reason I remember this.
yeah, yeah. That's the only reason I know who that artist is.
I'd probably know it if I heard it, but
That's the one that was
Just-
on the Super Bowl last year, and he was running through the.
It's really good.
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the hype shit.
I've messed around with lossless audio, but then I realized there's no sense in fucking lossless audio when all you listen to is like.
Cancer Slug.
Yeah,
and
like.
Dead Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I tell you I downloaded the entire
Yeah,
Dead
you
Kennedy's
did.
discography in 24-bit FLAC?
Yeah, which
and,
is
oh boy,
silly.
it sounds exactly like an MP3.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot like a 96K MP3.
That's exactly. It's
And Cancer Slug recorded their shit on an answering machine.
yeah.
I wish that was a joke.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that's the whole reason. Well, one of the big reasons that Mr. Bruce didn't really get into him. He's like, look, I mean, like, I understand what they're going for, and it's cool, but that sounds like shit.
Yeah. They like early on was bad,
Yeah.
and then they got better, and then it got way worse for a while.
They were like, this is the most slickly produced. Well, let's be honest. Alex was like, this is the most slickly produced, and of course, the most brutal
Yeah.
record we've ever put out. And I'm thinking Battle Hymns.
Yeah.
was where that started.
1 and 2 is when
Yeah,
and it sounded
that's
like
how
complete
songs are always meant to sound.
Yeah, and
yep.
they sounded like complete trash.
It was fucking
Yeah.
garbage. Oh god, and there was all that fucking like double bass pedal
That
and
was
shit.
that was
that was afterwards.
that
wasn't
was that Tales of a Butcher from a Butcher or something like that.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it started the double bass shit on.
Was it?
Maybe they did. I know.
I know
might
it
have
was
only
at
got
least
certain
on
tracks.
Curse Arcanum.
Oh, was
Maybe
it?
it was.
Oh shit.
It,
Because that was
It
like
was
the
that
first,
era.
That was the first Cancer Slug album I heard that I was like,
they went whatever album it was. They went fucking overboard with the double bass, and it ruined the entire thing.
There were some
the-
good tracks on Curse Arcanum, but yeah.
like battle hymns. I don't go for it, but there were a couple good songs on it, like a couple good re-recorded versions.
I feel the same way about Anatomy of a Reanimation, or of Reanimation. I don't remember what the actual
That's
title
invalid.
is.
That's fucking invalid. Now that they're doing these Halloween shows, it sounds
God.
like the best records they've ever done.
I don't know if Blitzkid feels the same way about Anatomy of Reanimation, but when they started doing their like Instagram live shows during the beginning of the pandemic, they were flat out like everybody hated Anatomy of Reanimation, so that's why we didn't make another one.
Yeah, it was Volume
And-
1. There was not a Volume 2.
To their credit, they were just like, look, we got in the studio, and where we would have normally recorded things, like got 1 or 2 guitar tracks you can use, we had like 99 tracks of things we could use, so we're like, all right, we're gonna use fucking 99 tracks,
And you can't
we're
like
gonna record 1 million guitars and
And-
1 million fucking
yeah.
sitars.
and I mean, to be honest, I can't fault them because I can't say it was good, but I can't fault them because if you give somebody all those tools when all you've had is scraping by, you kind of probably are going to go
Yeah.
overboard anyways.
That's what happened with fucking Cancer Slug.
Yeah.
Like, well, and I think they had somebody else produce it.
Yeah,
they
he was
first
working with
started
like
getting-
the Cannibal Corpse guys. I think it was the Cannibal Corpse drummer even. on
Honestly,
that.
that's not that great of a match. You might think it would be, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's not Cancer Slug's kind of music.
I was thinking about it a day or two ago. It's like now it's been so long since like new Blitzkid stuff was out there that it just kind of sits into me. Like my favorite Blitzkid stuff was the earlier stuff before they got experimental with things and started incorporating clips and stuff, or not clips, but
Like samples.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, but I liked horror punk Blitzkid,
Yeah, the punk band.
and I have nothing against any of the albums where they didn't want to be horror punk and they wanted to be known as horror rock, because they fucking packed those albums with great songs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But when I put on Blitzkid records now, like I'll go for Let Flowers Die or
Trace of a Stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I like the Halloween thing they did last year, and I assume the one they're going to do this year will be just the same, because it's just like the presentation was where you got all your fun out. Like the songs were just fucking well done, recorded well.
Exactly. Like when I heard those songs, I didn't want to go on the internet and say anything, because I'd been like, this is how Blitzkid is supposed to fucking sound.
I know. Yeah.
Because then, you have ghouls there with like fucking 30 theremins surrounding. Like,
But
what do
have
you mean?
But have you thought of how Blitzkid could sound if TB would let me put 30 theremins in a track? I badgered him for 6 months to get a Hammond organ in there. Oh, man. Yeah, no, like, there are a few tracks from, like, Five Cellars Below, maybe a couple from Apparitional that I would rank in, like, my top, like, Blitzkid songs, but, I mean, a lot of the time I'd rather listen to Terrifying Tales.
Yeah, go back to that one a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Five Cellars was the tipping point, because that was the one where it was like, okay, I know damn near this entire record before it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the record full of songs you only heard live.
Yeah.
Like, just think of a time where Starlight Decay was just something you heard about. That's fucking bizarre to go back and think about.
I don't think that I saw Blitzkid live until right after that album came out.
Yeah, it would have been.
It was either right before or right after.
right around then.
but
It was been 2005, I think. Because your
Yeah.
first show was the one we filmed, right? Yeah, that
with
would've been-
with Jason
Yeah.
playing with
Yep.
him.
Yeah, but like that's weird to like think about. Like the staple of their live show was something you only like we heard about on message boards. It's like, oh, they got this really good song. It's really catchy.
Well, I mean, we went to like the acoustic show and then we turned that all into MP3s, so we had a lot of those songs
Yeah, exactly.
for a while, and then
That was such a weird, like, cool thing though, because I had all the. I was laughing the other day about when we went to Glassport, I think. Yeah. And we played that for Rob. And I was all like, you gotta hear it, they did Nosferatu acoustic. And he was like, that's fucking boring. I was like, what? But
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
he's got a point.
yeah, you're right.
You can understand the words though.
Like, I just remember that thinking like, oh, it's so cool and weird. They did a different version. And he's like, well, it's boring. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
I disagree.
You know what? You're right about that, man.
Compared to the other one, it's a more boring arrangement of the song, but like having heard the original song and then listening to that acoustic version, that's gold.
A fucking song.
I went off on a thing recently with like cover versions of songs because you know me, love a good cover. I love my woes. I love my covers.
I love my woes and I love my hoes.
Yep, that's right.
Covers are good too.
Woes and hoes. That's a patch I'm gonna get made. I'm gonna buy Casey an embroidery machine so she can make me a woes and hoes patch.
Oh yeah,
She's gonna make herself a woes and hoes patch.
Oh, she'll make one for each of us, but she will be wearing it on a sleeveless denim coat.
yeah. Yeah, well, we could put her to work because I got some ideas too.
Now, if you want any of them to be cross-stitch patterns, I can do that.
Like with
Because
the
I've
X's?
been meaning to, yeah. I don't actually do the cross-stitch myself, but like, I'll make the pattern, and then we sell it as a PDF on Etsy.
Like the tablecloths my grandma used to make.
Your grandmother used to embroider tablecloths?
His grandma used to do a lot of things.
PCP.
Did you ever do crank with a Gilmartin?
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, like you buy you get that little ring, and you put the tablecloth in it, and you get the pattern, and it's like it's got little like.
She'd do a whole fucking tablecloth, though?
Yeah, but it was like a white tablecloth with like a
I thought you were
design.
going to say, yeah, but it's like a real small tablecloth. It's like a 5-inch square tablecloth.
Yeah, it's for a hamster.
Yeah.
She made dollhouse tablecloths.
Yeah.
Or is cross stitch that? This shit.
That's knitting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're thinking of knitting there, but yeah, it's where you poke it in like an X shape.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, that's
progressively get further away from cross stitch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is cross stitch that shit where you dip paper and glue?
Is cross stitch the thing where you've joined two pieces of metal together with a torch?
Cross shit's when you break eggs and sugar and shit, right?
Right. Oh, cross
Fucking love
stitch.
me some cross stitch.
Cross stitch like SpaceX does, trying to get to Mars. But yeah, I've come up with a few really good cross. Have I showed you my cross stitch designs that I made?
Doug.
Oh my fucking God. Guys, there's a Ghostbusters one and everything.
Oh man, here he is, Onion Doug, just peeling away the layers.
Where the fuck's the Etsy store? There we go. Hell yeah. Okay, so here's one that I cheated a little bit and used a photo as a reference, but that's a Boglin.
Okay.
Y'all remember Boglins?
Nope.
Yeah, they were the toy.
Yeah, they were like little rubber puppet monsters. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's not that. I know that's like a rug, right?
No, this is small. It's like something you would hang on the wall.
That's
Yeah.
not what,
Each of those pixels is 1x. So it's not like tiny, but
okay.
but yeah, you would. And what I'm selling here is just the PDF.
Yeah.
So $5, you get the PDF. You can make it. This is my Ghostbusters one. Is it bigger? If I no, I can't do that. It's locked. Can you read it?
Yeah. Nice.
And then I stole the sprites from a video game.
Mhm.
I made that one twice. The first time I made it, before we got to post it, my hard drive died, and I lost all the data on it. And yeah, I don't think this version's as good, but it's got a lot of favorites. I've only sold a couple of them. But Casey made this one. She censored the product image.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I know what's
Gotcha.
under that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She also censored the product image on this one. If it'll load. There's an uncensored version. It's just a little Hitachi vibrator.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. There's another one of Casey's.
Nice.
We'll have to direct our listeners to the Etsy so they
Yeah.
can view along with this podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Somebody actually bought this, stitched it, complete with the yellow background. They didn't do it on yellow fabric. They did a stitch for every.
Oh my.
That
Yeah.
seems excessive.
It is very excessive. And then they framed it and took a picture of it and posted it as a review
Nice.
on the product. That was really cool. This is the one that I'm the most proud of, and I've never seen somebody finish it, but I have seen people start it. This is, you'll be able to tell by how small the pixels are how huge it is. But it's a Stargate
Okay.
cross stitch. That one took a really, really long time to make, and it's by far the best seller out of all of them.
Nice.
Really?
I think it's probably partly because it's so big. Oh no, somebody did finish one. Oh my god. Somebody made it.
How about that?
Let me see that. Okay. Yeah, that is what my grandma did.
Mm.
Not that, but
She didn't do the Stargate
no,
one?
no.
Yeah, that was from December. My finished product. It took me forever and was hella hard for a beginner like me, but it turned out so cool. My husband is a huge Stargate nerd, and he freaking loved it. 10 out of 10.
I don't know how you how you become a beginner. I feel like you're either born with it. Like,
No, Ken, that's Maybelline.
No, did you ever see a cross stitch sampler? It's a big PA Dutch thing too, like where you'll do like the alphabet and like you do it like all uppercase, all lowercase, and then you do like some patterns and stuff and like intricate like
okay.
like patterns and things like that.
Like training.
Yeah, and then like they would frame it and put it on the wall, and that's like your mark of having mastered the art of the cross
Yeah.
stitch.
Fancy tracing.
Since we don't have culture.
It's a bit reductive, I apologize.
It's a bit reductive, yeah. But yeah, I've been saying for several years now I need to get on making more of those, because if we had more of a selection on the store, we'd sell more of them.
Yeah,
and it
that's-
would
and
actually be a
that's-
fairly decent source of extra income.
We'll get you cross-stitching hidden logos.
Nice.
I'll do it.
What would that be like?
I don't know. It'd help if we had more songs.
It would. It really would. I was thinking of other weird formats that we could release the hidden stuff on. I was actually going to make a hidden T-shirt recently, because I started like to actually get into like experimenting with different like heat transfer vinyl and stuff like that, and I've made some stuff that's pretty good. And then I'm sure I told you about the WNUF Halloween special sequel.
Yeah,
Me and
the
Sam
Beavis
were
and Butthead
extras. Yeah, so I made those shirts with that. And so I'm getting more confident in my ability to make things with it. And I'm like, what if I just did like a monochrome like silhouette of one of the Templars from Blind Dad and just put the Hidden logo underneath it, and then just made a T-shirt and then was just wearing it when you guys came over one week.
I gotta do a better logo that's not all fucked up in paint.
I have it half. I have like a better version half done of the Josh logo. I also started. You posted something, and it was like a notebook scribbling you did, and it had a Hidden logo in it. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I took that and I actually was fucking around and made a logo out of it. But like the first half looks fucking badass, and then the second half looks like it belongs in Big Trouble in Little China. It's like it's this very like I guess Oriental looking like weirdness and I'm like, I don't know how to fix that. I'm not that creative. I just know how to digitize these things and clean them up.
Sounds like you're tracing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Fancy tracing.
Yeah, I was doing some real fancy tracing.
Was that the thing above like the guitar player with the mohawk?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That was back when I thought I might have a mohawk one day.
Oh.
Yeah, the first half of that, the HID, that fucking sweet and looks badass. The rest of it, I was like, oh, that doesn't look right at all when it's all red.
Do you ever find the picture of me in the jewelry box?
She did. She hasn't taken it out though. It's still there.
Was
Scan
it the monkey
that
face
picture
picture?
for me.
It's one of them. It was the same photo shoot.
The same shoot.
Yeah.
The same 10 minutes before music class when we were taking random pictures.
No, this was our band practice.
Yeah.
It,
Oh,
it was
was
like
it?
for the website we were making.
Okay.
Yeah, like
That's funny as
it's
hell.
him playing guitar with the corpse paint on, screaming into a microphone.
That wasn't plugged in.
Yeah.
Clearly not plugged
Well,
in.
I don't know.
or anything.
I'll look closer. There might be a cable hanging out of it. I hope we had a cable. Probably didn't.
I don't remember what I was watching recently, but there was I think it was a movie, but it wasn't like a big budget movie or anything. Obviously, because there was somebody who was supposed to be performing on stage and the microphone was just there was no cable coming out of it. You could see the XLR connectors in the back of it. It's not wireless or anything.
Yeah, she's got this jewelry box that two sides of it and they open, but they're like they have little spots to put like pictures in.
Okay.
And she has the front filled and the back half filled, and I put that picture in like dead center in the back. It took a couple weeks, but she was like, Kenneth, just digging it out yet.
Scan that picture for me when you
Okay.
get a chance. 'Cause I have nothing from back then.
Okay.
I used to have everything on Photo Bucket,
Uh-huh.
and then my Photo Bucket got taken over by some Korean person. And I lost all the old hidden stuff.
I'm fucking Korean.
So when you popped up with that picture, I was like, oh, holy shit, something exists.
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty sure I still have all of those photos somewhere.
Man, what time is it? 8:44.
So we haven't been doing Amazon.
I got bad news. I forgot to email Florida to me before I left.
Oh, okay. So
So we won't do Florida tonight either.
All right. What did you guys think of the Actually game that we did that one time?
I think it was alright.
How would you feel if I did like one of those for each episode and we could do that as a game at the end?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right on. I like having a few games at the end of the show, but I don't want to ask you to do Amazon again because it's way more work than the other games.
Yeah, Amazon got really fucking hard to pull up. There was a website that collected a lot of them, and he stopped doing it. And all the like places I went,
All those fantastic websites just don't exist anymore. They're trash. People at Walmart.
I'm pretty sure the Star Wars Pants Project still exists.
Star Wars pants.
Star Wars Pants Project. It's a website where they would replace a word in a line of dialogue from Star Wars with the word pants.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
the first one was obviously I find your lack of pants disturbing. But oh yeah, you don't know the true power of the pants side,
The dark pants.
right? Or maybe even like the true pants of the dark side.
That's good.
The true pants of the dark side sounds like some bondage gear.
I put on a video the other day that was like 56 minutes of Mark Hamill dancing around how unhappy he was with Star Wars. And I originally put it on just thinking like, all right, I'll watch like a couple minutes of this just for a chuckle. Just remembering how like they eventually reined him in to the point where he was like, oh no, I was just joking, haha. Oh my god.
We're talking the original trilogy, or
No.
Okay.
The sequel
Disney
trilogy.
Yeah. Like, he would get up on stage and just savagely shred it. And then he'd be like, but, that's just my opinion, and I have to accept the story is not my story anymore. It's like, dude. And the thing is, his words had weight, not just because he was Luke Skywalker. Well, I'm going to say because he was Luke Skywalker, if that sentence makes sense. Because, like, he was so ingrained in that he would bring up things that didn't make sense, that would be like your stereotypical Star Wars fan would be grilling someone about. Like, he lived that reality to, like, get it down. Yeah, he cared about it that much. And they just fucked him.
And it sucks because I think The Last Jedi is tough for me because it's a trash movie. But if I look at what they were going for and what the meaning they were trying to push, I'm like, oh my god, if you did that better, I would have been so much more happy with it. Like,
but they weren't shooting for better, they were shooting for safer.
yeah, like, it's weird though because they were pushing some new, different ideas,
And then
but they
were
went
like,
too
"Fuck
far.
that."
Stresses me out because I feel like I don't. Most people hate his portrayal, how Luke was in that movie, and like I love it, and I fucking cry when he shows up at the end, and like when he projects himself at the end. Like, I think that's so fucking badass.
Actually, Luke was never actually there.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Nice tie-in.
like, I love everything about that so much, and then I'm like, but the rest of this movie is so goddamn annoying.
Like, and that's the thing, because I've always said, like, I like Star Wars. I don't like Star Wars as much as you guys like Star Wars, but I mean, you grow up in that culture. Star Wars is part of who you are.
Yeah.
And listening to Mark Hamill be like so hurt
I know.
by how they portrayed him. Because it would like go chronologically where he'd think, all right, I haven't been in the first movie at all. Where the hell am I? And then I get to this page where the lightsaber starts to shake in the snow. And I'm thinking, oh, this is it. This is my big debut. This is when Luke Skywalker's back, and it goes to Rey.
Like, in that, I don't like that. I have more trouble with that than I do, like, that movie than I do The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Thematically.
He's like,
Story-wise.
she didn't even go to Dagobah.
Like, everybody, the marketing of this fucking movie was we're getting the band back together, and you don't get the goddamn band back together.
Nope.
Like, and it was like, you think J.J. Abrams is like a fucking Star Wars fan?
Like Super Star Wars fan.
Yeah, like, what did you miss, man?
Mark Hamill would be like, I talked to JJ, and JJ was like, that's okay. And I talked to Ryan, and Ryan's like, okay. And he's like, I need to know what I've been doing for 40 years so I can get into my character. And they're just like, whatever.
Yeah, because Disney owns it now. It doesn't matter anymore.
What's really fun to watch, though, I just watched it the other night for the first time, the making of, like, the behind-the-scenes thing they do for all the shows they do on Disney+. They did a hour and a half one for The Mandalorian season 2, and then like a couple months ago, they released episode 2, and it was all about that ending scene reveal. And he's so fucking happy. Like, thank God for fucking Favreau and Co, because they saved Mark Hamill's life.
He was down. Like there's like 10 minutes of him answering reporters' questions about what he's got to do in the second movie, and he's like, well, I can safely say it'll be twice as much as I did in the first movie. And that's another 10 minutes of him being like, a Jedi wouldn't just disappear for 40 years. a Jedi might take some time away, like maybe 6 months at the most, to regroup and figure out how to solve his problem.
But you don't just fuck off to a deserted planet for 40 years.
Yeah, he's like, he wouldn't hide out on a planet drinking milk from a fucking whatever that was.
Walrus.
His tit.
I mean, Obi-Wan did.
Yeah.
And Yoda. Minus the milk from the tit. The titty milk.
Yeah.
All right, you could have brought that up to Mark and destroyed his argument.
I could, yeah.
It might have made him feel better.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's precedent for this. Okay. See,
Poor Mark.
Yeah, no, I feel bad because, like, Mark Hamill is so beloved at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even just as Luke Skywalker, but also as the Joker. I was going to say as many other roles as well, but mostly the Joker.
Yeah.
But, like, he's the best Joker. There's only one person who's played Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And he was the best at it, but, like, by default.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been a lot of Jokers over the years, and if you're the best, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, come on, buck up, Mark. Mr. Hamill, sorry.
I think one of the things about him that makes him really likable, like, on a personal level, is that, I don't know, man, you look at, like, how Han Solo, how Harrison Ford reacted to being part of Star Wars. Like, it was the bane of his existence for 30 years. Mark Hamill's
He was the Bill Shatner of Star Wars.
Mark Hamill owned it, and not just Star Wars. Like, any nerd shit he got his hands on, like, he dove right into it. Even if it was like a stupid role on The Flash, he was like, God damn it, I am gonna be the fucking trickster.
Yeah, and he was like the comic book trickster, not just the trickster.
Yeah.
It was in the 90s Flash that was like trying to be like a TV show, but, you know, like a 90s comic show where they couldn't go all in. Like, fucking, he went all in on that character.
And he came back for the CW Flash.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, like, this is fucking Mark Hamill. And he's willing to go. Maybe we build him up in our heads because it's Mark Hamill, but he's willing to go and do 2 or 3 episodes on the CW.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even think I would do that. And I don't have an acting career.
I mean, he just embraces that world, and he's not a piece of shit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the guy. Good guy, Mark Hamill.
Good guy.
I'd buy Mark Hamill a beer.
I'd share a soft pretzel with him.
Oh.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get him his own soft pretzel?
No, and he'd have to get his own mustard. But
Yeah. Oh, well, fuck off with the mustard. Like, this is my mustard. You fend for yourself.
I had some shitty mustard the other day.
Oh.
It came in like a little, looked like a Witcher bottle. And it had bell peppers. It was like a sweet and hot mustard.
I don't know
And
if
it
bell
was just-
peppers are a good idea for mustard.
No, they weren't.
Yeah.
Like, I love bell peppers.
Yeah, me too.
Not in mustard.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw it, I was like, hey, fuck it, I'm in.
It's worth a
And
try.
After one use, I was like, this bottle's just going to go in the trash. Actually, I might wash out the mustard.
Yeah, just
and
keep it.
keep the bottle because it is a cool bottle. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't have a good outro this week. My jokes at home. My fucking Floridas are at home.
Uh,
Long live the horror.
I'll tell a joke.
Okay.
Here, in its natural habitat, on a tiny islet off the coast of Belgium, we observe the majestic and elusive joke of the week.
Okay, so 3 traveling salesmen show up at a farm late in the day, and they say, "Hey, do you have anywhere you can put us up for the night? There's not a hotel nearby." And the farmer says, "Yeah, I can put you up, but we've only got the one room, and it's just got the one bed. But it's a big bed, so you 3 should all be able to fit." So they all line up right in a row, and they go to sleep. And they wake up the next morning, and the salesman on the left says, "Oh, I had this amazing dream last night. This chick was giving me a hand job." And the salesman on the right says, "Oh, man, that's weird. I had the exact same fucking dream. This girl was giving me a hand job." And the guy in the middle says, "You guys are lucky. I dreamt I was skiing."
Yep.
Joke of the week.
Thanks for listening.
And the moth said because the light was on, Doc. Rest in peace, Norm.
But you cannot fuck around with...
You're fired, Adam. You're all washed up in this business.